and welcome the senior leadership of the Department of Justice.
Good afternoon. That's the spirit. Good afternoon and welcome to the Attorney General's combined 70th and 71st Annual Award Ceremony. I'm Lisa Monaco, the Deputy Attorney General. Today we are gathered here to express our gratitude to an exceptional group of Department of Justice employees and to recognize the remarkable men and women from outside the department who put service before self to support our mission. And we're honored to be joined by so many family members, friends, and colleagues of the award recipients. The extraordinary achievements that we celebrate today required exemplary talent and, in some instances, personal and professional sacrifice. But a large share of the credit of the work we honor today is due to those of you who've supported today's recipients. And for that, we thank you. At this time, I'd ask you to please rise, if you're able, for the presentation of the colors by the United States Military District of Washington Armed Forces Color Guard, and for the playing of the national anthem by the President's own United States Marine Band. Please be seated. And please join me in a warm round of applause for the Armed Forces Color Guard and the United States Marine Band. It is now my great privilege to introduce the Attorney General of the United States, the Honorable Merrick B. Garland.
Thank you, Deputy Attorney General Monaco. Let me just say I have a big smile on my face. You guys are all so terrific, and it is so terrific to have so many of you all here in person. It's wonderful to be able to give out the combined 70th and 71st Annual Attorney General's Awards. The Attorney General Awards ceremony provides a welcome opportunity to celebrate the outstanding work of our colleagues to advance the department's mission. It also gives us a chance to reflect on that mission, which I repeat so often that I'm sure most of you know it by heart. Our mission is to uphold the rule of law, to keep our country safe, and to protect civil rights. This ceremony is like the Justice Department's version of the Oscars, but with a much better band and a not particularly funny host. Like the Oscars, the AG Awards has a history of running a little long. And today we're giving about twice as many awards as usual, so I am going to be very brief. Today we recognize more than 600 DOJ employees and law enforcement partners for your extraordinary contributions to furthering the department's mission. Each of today's recipients has served with distinction, and in so doing, you have enabled the department to advance its work on behalf of the American people. Your exceptional leadership, heroism, and dedication have benefited communities all across the country. The accomplishments of this year's recipients speak for themselves. Among the honorees are attorneys, investigators, law enforcement officers, victim witness specialists, support staff, and others who have made tremendous sacrifices to continue the department's tradition of excellence, independence, and the pursuit of justice. Your work has made our country safer, strengthened the rule of law, secured justice for the most vulnerable in our society, helped children with disabilities access critical services, protected consumers, and made DOJ a better place to work. Though your roles are varied, all of you share a deep commitment to public service. And your extraordinary accomplishments represent just a small fraction of the outstanding work being done by the 115,000 public servants of the Justice Department. The work of our department is not easy, and the people who do it come face to face with some of our greatest dangers and with people experience their most difficult hours. To all of the DOJ employees who work every day on behalf of this country, thank you for your service. To all the family members who have supported your loved ones through their careers, thank you for your sacrifice. We know they could not do this work without you. And to all of today's awardees who have gone above and beyond to advance the department's mission, thank you for exemplifying what it means to choose a career in public service. No award could adequately honor the courage and commitment that you demonstrate every single day. It is an honor to work with you. I am proud of you. I'm now pleased to turn the program over to the Assistant Attorney General for administration. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney General Garland. I am Jolene Loria, the Assistant Attorney General for Administration, Justice Management Division. Before we get started, just one quick program note so that we can keep things moving. I will be narrating and introducing all of today's award recipients. So let's get to the grand stage. There are justice leaders from across the department that are seated here, and while others have joined us in the audience. These component heads and the United States attorneys on stage have employees that are being honored today. Please join me in giving them all our DOJ senior leaders a big round of applause. We will now begin the presentations. Component heads and U.S. attorneys on stage, when your employees' names are announced, please join the Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, and Associate Attorney General center stage for the award presentations and photographs. During the presentations, I will share stories of the recipients' accomplishments, contributions, and in many cases, heroic acts. Please note, while some recipients were unable to attend today's ceremony, we will honor their accomplishments by still announcing their names. Also, please hold your applause until all the awards in each category have been announced. As you heard, with over 600 recipients crossing the stage today, we want to ensure that we have time to honor the recipients, so please wait till I invite your applause. Our first category is the Edward H. Levy Award for Outstanding Professionalism and Exemplary Integrity. This award is presented to two individuals. From the Civil Division, Michael S. Robb. From the National Security Division, George Z. Toscas. Michael spearheaded the department's appellate efforts in countless sensitive matters. George has led some of the department's most significant national security investigations in our country for 30 years. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipients of the Edward H. Levy Award. The next category, the Attorney General's Award for Meritorious Public Service in the department's top public service recognition. The Meritorious Public Service Award is presented to one individual today. From the County of San Diego, Southern District of California, District Attorney Sumner Stephen. Sumner collaborated with federal law enforcement on multiple fentanyl trafficking, elder fraud, and violent crime operations. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the Meritorious Public Service Award. Our next category is the William French Smith Award for Outstanding Contributions to Corporate Law Enforcement. This honorary award recognizes state and local law enforcement officials. Two awards are presented today to three individuals. The first award from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Richard Dial and Jason Seacrest. The second award from the Drug Enforcement Administration, Jason Pierce Best. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation team is honored for their exceptional work in support of the federal hate crimes prosecution of three defendants responsible for the death of Ahmaud Arbery. Task Force Officer Jason Pierce Best is recognized for his outstanding leadership and contribution to the DEA mission throughout his illustrious career. Ladies and gentlemen, the William French Smith Award recipients. The next award, the Mary C. Lawton Award, recognizes employees who have served at least 20 years in the department and who have demonstrated high standards of excellence and dedication throughout their careers. Today, this award is presented to 4 individuals. From the Criminal Division, Gerald A. Toner. From the Environment and Natural Resources Division, Nathaniel Douglas. From the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Joseph J. Allen. And from the Civil Rights Division, Stephen H. Rosenbaum. Gerald is honored for over 48 years of exceptional contributions in various areas of labor law. Nathaniel is honored posthumously in recognition of 49 years of exceptional contributions in both Civil Rights Division and the Environment and Natural Resources Division. Accepting on his behalf is his daughter, Natalie Douglas. Joseph is recognized for over 3 decades of commitment to public safety, and Stephen is recognized for 45 years of exceptional work, including his work to develop the Fair Lending Program. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipients of the Mary C. Lawton Lifetime Service Award. The next award, the Attorney General's Award for Exceptional Heroism, recognizes extraordinary acts of courage and voluntary risk of life during the performance of official duties. 3 Exceptional Heroism Awards are presented. The first award is presented to a team that apprehended a dangerous fugitive on an Amtrak train. From the Drug Enforcement Administration, Michael G. Garbo and Stephen J. Fox. Special Agent Garbo was tragically killed in the line of duty during this interdiction operation. His sacrifice is honored, and accepting on behalf is his wife, Vida Garbo. From the Tucson Police Department, Gabe A. Lopez, Jesse Chamberlain, and Philip M. Hengsteller. The final award in this category are presented to 2 individuals. From the United States Marshal Service, Michael Cundiff, and from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Adam R. Daniels. Michael is recognized for his dedication to and duty during the apprehension of a dangerous fugitive, and Adam is honored for being an inspiration to his colleagues, including federal agents, local law enforcement officers, and prosecutors. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipients of the Exceptional Heroism Award. The Attorney General's David Margolis Award for Exceptional Service is the department's highest award for employee performance. It is named in honor of former Associate Deputy Attorney General David Margolis, one of the senior-most career employees at the Department of Justice who served over 50 years in various roles. Today, 2 teams are presented this award. The first team is recognized for exceptional service in the investigation and prosecution of the George Floyd case. From the Civil Rights Division, Samantha Treppel, Tara Allison, and Henry Frank. From the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Minnesota, Alan Slaughter, Evelyn Gillied, Leanne Bell, Amanda Zertick, Samantha Bates, Stephanie Braun, Christina Busey, Selena Kolsrud, and Daniel Zapko. And from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Blake Hostetter. The second award honors the investigation and prosecution team in the United States versus Somali and Terathong et al. And the United States versus Michael Morris et al. For the outstanding work in dismantling a transnational human trafficking enterprise that operated for over a decade. From the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Minnesota, Melinda Williams, Lori Provenzino, Craig Bown, David Genrich, Stephanie Braun, Selena Colesrud, Daniel Zapko, Mark Zeitz. From the Civil Rights Division, Hillary Axum and William Nolan. From Homeland Security Investigations, Tonya Price. From the Internal Revenue Service, John Sheeta. And from the Minnesota Department of Commerce, Kevin Sullivan. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipients of the David Margolis Award for Exceptional Service. Our next category is the Attorney General's Award for Distinguished Service, the second highest recognition for employee performance. There are 21 awards presented today in this category. I will ask that you hold your applause until all 21 awards are presented, and I will cue you in. The first team investigated and prosecuted the Ahmaud Arbery case. The recipients are, from the Civil Rights Division, Barbara Bobby Bernstein, Stephen Harrell, and Christopher J. Paris. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Jeffrey Roberts, Maria Pagan, Skylar Barnes, Marcus Griffin, and Amy Vaughan. And from the United States Attorney's Office from the Southern District of Georgia, Tara Lyons, Tracy Long, Taylor Thomas, Kelly Wiggins, and Iverna Campbell. The next team is honored for the investigation and prosecution of the Rochester Drug Cooperative. From the Drug Enforcement Administration, Michael D. Muller, Carrie M. Whitmore, George J. Birdsey, Brittany G. Corrines, Jessica A. Stransky-Chrisman, Kathleen M. Whitmore, Christine L. Barnes, and William J. Kevlahan. From the United States Attorney's Office, from the Southern District of New York, Alexander Rothman, Nicholas Ruse, Louise Pellegrino, Stephanie Lake, and Thomas Burnett. The next team is honored for investigation and disrupting the Fulton Clique. The recipients are, from the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Maryland, Kenneth S. Clark and Zachary Stendig, Anatoly Smolkin. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Alicia C. Zimmerman and John Coward II. From the United States Department of Homeland Security, Kamishika Sampson. From the Montgomery Police Department, Tara Bayonne Augustin. And from the Frederick Police Department, Kyrie Yakovic. The next team is recognized for investigating threats to critical U.S. Navy technology. From the National Security Division, Matthew J. McKenzie and S. Derek Schugert. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Northern District of West Virginia, Jared J. Douglas. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Western District of Pennsylvania, Jessica Lieber Smolar. From the Federal Bureau of Investigations, Andrew Bass Gray, Justin Van Tromp, Jason Cerrone, Peter L. Olinas, Brent Cronchi, Sean Cunningham, Vicki Minard, Andrew Thomas Mitchell, David Braciani, Keith Smith. And from the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, John C. Nocella. Our next recipients are being honored for their work on the Cybercrime Enhanced Cooperation and Disclosure of Electronic Evidence on behalf of the United States government. From the Criminal Division, Richard Downing, Bruce Schwartz, Sherry Shepard Pratt, Erica O'Neill, Benjamin Fitzpatrick, Kenneth Harris, and Hannah Mayer. And from the Privacy and Civil Liberties, Catherine Harmett Strokes. The next award is presented to Operation Triple Beam from the United States Marshal Service for their work on a 60-day effort in Wichita, Kansas to promote immediate relief from violent gang-related crime. The recipients are Jerry L. Vieira, Brandon J. Basmer, Truman S. Wiles, Teddy Josh Moth, Brady M. Flanagan, Troy W. Oberly, and Kyle L. Perry. The next individual award recipient is from the Civil Division, John Patrick Glenn. John is recognized for supporting the Civil Division's torts branch. The next award is presented to the group that investigated and prosecuted United States versus Alexandra Cote and the United States versus Al-Shafi Al-Sheikh. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Virginia, Raj Parikh, Aidan Taft Grano Mickelson, Dennis M. Fitzpatrick, John T. Gibbs, Nicole M. Lopez, and Jennifer A. Donnarumma. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, John M. Chapone, Brian D. Chakala, Daniel P. O'Toole, William H. Haney, Julius F. Nutter, and Edward R. Laney. From the National Security Division, Alicia H. Cook. For the United States Department of Defense, Elizabeth L. Gilman and Michael D. Bozo. The recipients of the next award investigated and prosecuted individuals in one of the most significant fraud cases the department has ever prosecuted in the history of American higher education admissions. For the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Massachusetts, Chris R. Basil, Alexia R. DeVincentis, Stephen E. Frank, Kristen A. Kearney, Justin D. O'Donnell, Ian J. Stearns, Leslie A. Wright, Carol E. Head, and Lauren M. George. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Laura C. Smith, Caitlin A. Cedrone, Keith T. Brown, and Chris Giannicara. From the Internal Revenue Service, Elizabeth H. Keating, and from the United States Department of Education, Mark G. Deckett. The next team investigated, extradited, and convicted an ISIS senior leader and disrupted the largest and most prominent U.S. person-led ISIS facilitation network. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Andrew P. Pachman, Edward A. Panetta, Raymond Esposito, Carrie A. Shannon, Amanda Rossi, Dragan Minnick, Samir Teslaman, Justin Hefner, and Vey Bastikin. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, Joshua Hayfitz, J. Matthew Higgins, Saritha Komatridi, Hoda Abuchar, and from the United States Department of Homeland Security, Charles M. Reich. The next team reviewed and mitigated national security and law enforcement risks to American sensitive data on the Pacific Light Cable Network. The recipients are, from the National Security Division, Christopher Clements, Megan Flukiger, Elisa Ju, Tyler Wood, and Stephen Buckingham. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Mike Graziani, and from the Office of Legal Counsel, Ryan N. Watzel. The next award recognizes the Office of Inspector General team for their work investigating failures in the handling of sexual abuse allegations raised by Olympic gymnasts. The recipients are Matthew J. Nutt, Mark E. Gray, Rolando Ortiz Rodriguez, and Karen Rich. The next individual recipient, from the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, David C. James. David is recognized for 35 years litigating criminal cases before the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. The next team is from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. This group developed and published updates to ATF's firearms regulations. The recipients are Andrew R. Lang, Eric M. Epstein, Vivian S. Chu, James P. Vann, Jonathan S. Jacobs, Gianna L. Davalos, Melissa A. Anderson, Helen L. Copy, William J. Ryan, Dennis R. Brown, and Pamela Hicks. Thank you. From the Antitrust Division, this team performed extraordinary litigation work in the case of the proposed acquisition of Simon & Schuster by Penguin Random House. The recipients are Malika Krishana, Jessica C. Stahl, Ian Kim, Jessica Leal, Brittany A. Diamond, Sarah Leicht, John Goldsmith, Bennett Mettelson, Collier Kelly, John R. Reed, Kevin Krauschied, Lauren Riker, Ethan Stevenson, Robert Vance, and Jeffrey Vernon. The next team is recognized for remarkable work on the Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine versus the United States Food and Drug Administration case. From the Civil Division, Sarah E. Harrington, Elisa B. Klein, Cynthia A. Barmore, Christopher A. Eisworth, Kate Talmore, Emily B. Nestler, Noah T. Katzen, Scott P. Kennedy, Oliver J. McDonald, Isaac C. Belfer, Daniel S. Sway, Michael S. Robb, Eric B. Beckenhauer, Julia Strauss Harris, Hillary K. Perkins, and Kathleen A. Choi, Amy D. Kosak, and from the Office of the Solicitor General, Luke McLeod and Erica Ross, and from the Office of Legal Counsel, Naomi G. Lenz. The next team is recognized for groundbreaking work in dismantling the Hive ransomware variant. From the Criminal Division, Kristen Gallagher, Allison Zeitron, Louisa Becker, William Hall, and James Silver. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Virginia, Jonathan Keem and Zoe Bedell. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Florida, Chauncey Bratt. And from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Justin Crenshaw, Ryan J. Leshinsky, I got it, Timothy Callahan, Brian Haymaker, Paul Ray, Delaney Jester, and Angela V. Nano. The next award recognizes the United States versus Florida litigation team for vindicating the civil rights of hundreds of children with disabilities in the state of Florida. From the Civil Rights Division, Elizabeth E. McDonald, Lindsay M. Weinstock, Justin Park, James B. Fletcher, Lauren M. Luttrell Powell, Jillian L. Lenson, Amanda B. Pearlstein, Janelle J. Giddis, Beth Esposito, Nicole Kovite-Zeitler, Justin Fields Gray, Kristen Diaz Silveira, Noni Onikili, and Sarah Olson. And from the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida, Veronica Harrell James. The next team prosecuted the United States versus Crucius case for the horrific mass shooting at a Walmart in El Paso, Texas. From the Civil Rights Division, Timothy Visser, Kyle Boynton, and Forrest Christian. From the Criminal Division, Michael Warble. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Western District of Texas, Gregory McDonald, Ian Hanna, Gloria Gonzalez, and Patricia Acosta. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Eddie Dominguez, Christina Papp, America Guevara, Jennifer Romero, Kelly Murphy, and Brandon Speed. And from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, Nate Anderson. The Los Angeles Strike Force Group dismantled a cartel's trafficking supply cells. From the Drug Enforcement Administration, Eric Jolly, Audrey Alance, Rochelle Cupchoy, Brent Ramos, Peter Kenyon, Michael Sierra, Alexander Pearlstone, Elvis Hughey, and Eric Kisher. The Jackson Safe Drinking Water Act and Clean Water Act team is recognized for addressing the water public health crisis in Jackson, Mississippi. From the Environment and Natural Resources Division, Gabriel M. Allen, Catherine A. Abend, Lori B. Jonas, Brenda J. Horner, Cynthia M. Ferguson, Minnie V. Beckton, Carl J. Fingerhood, and Angela Moe. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Mississippi, Angela G. Williams and Mitzi D. Page. And from the Community Relations Service, Walter L. Atkinson. The next team investigated and convicted a former Mexican cabinet official for his corrupt assistance to the cartel. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, Aaron Reed, Sarita Comatretti, Philip Pilmar, Adam Amir, Ryan Harris, Melissa Bennett, Huda T. Abuchar, George Diaz, and from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Paul West. From the Drug Enforcement Administration, Jason Franks, John Muglia, and James Kane. And from the Homeland Security Investigations, David Mazzafiero, Jimmy Cepeda, Scott Vogel, and Scott Vogel. The next team investigated and prosecuted members of the Oath Keepers for their roles in the January 6, 2021 attack on the United States Capitol. From the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, Catherine Rakoczy, Jeffrey Nessler, Alexandra Alex Hughes, Jocelyn Ballantyne, Amanda Rohde, Yvonne Bryant, Troy L.T. Edwards, Jr., and from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Jennifer Banks, Michael Pallian, Sylvia Higelman, Brian Cody, Joanna Abrams, Kelsey Harris, John D. Jack Moore, Adam K. Pope, Justin T. Eller, and Kathleen Riley Pendergast. The next team investigated and prosecuted members of the Proud Boys for the January 6, 2021 attack on the United States Capitol. For the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, Eric M. Kennerson and Jason B. A. McCullough. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, Nadia Moore. From the Criminal Division, Connor Mulrow. And from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Nicholas Hannick, Catherine Camilleri, Anthony J. Needler, Nicole Miller, Brandon Camilleri, Peter R. Dubrowski, Rebecca Karazi, Brian M. Lizana, Jennifer Catherine King. The Tampa Joint Terrorism Task Force disrupted and convicted Mohammed Al-Azhari for attempting to provide material support to the terrorist criminal organization ISIS. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, David B. Bannon, Stephen M. Dixon, Melissa M. Fair, Deanna M. Jones, Ashley Chi Kakarika, Brian Sherrow, Tani Della Rosa, Chris Hemme, Thomas Donnelly, Jason R. Maslow, Stacy Hamilton, and Andrew Maurer. And from the United States Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Florida, Cherie Krigsman and Rasha Yusukan. The next team dismantled 2 global networks seeking sensitive, disruptive technologies for Russia's military. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Ryan Boren, Thomas H. Lipp, Christopher O'Neill, Nicholas Milan, Calvin R. Davis, Stephen Jefferson, Alexander R. Kornenberger, Jordana A. Lubelli, Catherine McCool, Jonathan R. Schmidt, and Sean Powers. From the United States Office for the Eastern District of New York, Artie McConnell and Madeline O'Connor. And from the National Security Division, Scott A. Claffey. And from the Office of International Affairs, Josh L. Cavanado. The next award recognizes the team that investigated and reviewed the custody, care, and supervision of Jeffrey Epstein. From the Office of Inspector General, Lyson T. Daniel, Dennis E. Matulovich, Jr., Ryan T. Geach, H. Jerry Horn, Sandra D. Barnes, and Aaron Usland. The final team in this category defended the constitutionality of the Indian Child Welfare Act in Howland versus Brukin. From the Office of the Solicitor General, Edwin S. Needler and Frederick Liu. From the Environment and Natural Resources Division, Gina L. Allery, Amber B. Blah, Mary Gabriel Sprague, S. Craig Alexander, Christine W. Ennis, Rachel E. Heron, and William B. Lazarus. And from the Office of Tribal Justice, Tracy Toulouse, Joanne Kintz. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in a round of applause. At this time, we will take a short 10-minute intermission and in respect for the remaining award recipients and their families, please return in 10 minutes' time. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back. Our next award category recognizes extraordinary efforts by DOJ employees that demonstrate the department's commitment to fighting crime in Indian country. 3 awards are presented in this category today. The first group enhanced the quality of life in various tribal communities across northern Arizona. From the Drug Enforcement Administration, Mahilo D. Zakovic, Daryl A. Ianello, Christopher H. Slayer, Virginia W. Foster, and Preston H. Brogdon. And from the Yavapai Apache Police Department, Tyler Bond, Rex Van Austel, Stephen Gunnis, Nathan Hubracasi, The next team helped victims of violent crime in the Northern District of Oklahoma. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Oklahoma, Brandy Duvall, Taylin Langford, and Kareem Harris. The last award in this category recognizes the team for bringing justice and healing to the crime victims in Indian country and Alaska Native villages. From the Office for Victims of Crimes Tribal Division in the Office of Justice Programs, Catherine Derek Schmidt, Ann Hamilton, Labritia White, Jessica Andrew, Mary Atlas Terry, Yolanda Curtis Gibson, Dawn Hill, Tanya Miller, Ramsa Pitts, Alexis Poland, Barbara Robertson, Carmen Santiago Roberts, Lori Gardner, Jenny Samantha Stansel, and Kimberly R. Woodard. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipients of the Award for Exceptional Service in Indian Country. The next award category in the Attorney General's Award is the Attorney General's Award for Excellence in Law Enforcement, recognizes outstanding professional achievements by law enforcement officers. Two group awards are presented. The Financial Investigations Group, Los Angeles investigated the Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación in Mexico. From the Drug Enforcement Administration, Adam J. Cirillo, Adrian M. Owens, Kelly Y. Chang, Kelly D. Webster, Kevin D. Novak, Sylvana M. Restrepo, Trenton L. Schaefer, Tiffany Shea, and Diana D. Wu. The final team in this category investigated the Operation Check money laundering case. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the recipients are Margaret Mond, Jose de la Sierra, and William Lewis Donaldson III, and from the Department of Homeland Security, Danielle Jose Gonzalez. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipients of the Award for Excellence in Law Enforcement. The next award category, the Attorney General's Award for Excellence in Management, recognizes outstanding administrative or managerial achievements which have significantly improved operations productivity or reduced costs. Two teams are presented. The first team established a collaborative process across the department to develop a new strategic plan. From the Justice Management Division, Robin S. Funston, Tennille R. Nance, Russell C. Barnett, Deborah R. Williams, and Marita J. LaPalme, and from the Office of the Deputy Attorney General, Apio Oloya and Sonia M. Ralston. The second team in this category successfully implemented the department's unified financial management system. From the Justice Management Division, Christopher C. Alvarez, Matthew J. Roper, Jeffrey D. Pullen, Nathaniel H. Wheeler, Mark Burlove, Vu C. Traum, Leon Bradell, Jocelyn M. Harris, Dara L. Sabinosh, Kathleen Greenlee, Giles T. Wellis, Tim D. Taylor, Vincent B. Anderson, Rena J. Shaw, and Jerome K. Milligan. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipients of the Award for Excellence in Management. The next award category recognizes outstanding achievements in information technology. 3 group awards are presented. The Next Generation Identification System Team is recognized for delivering significant technical enhancements and major architectural upgrades. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Angela S. Epperly, Chad E. Elliott, Dennis G. Klingensmith, Donald Carpenter Jr., Dustin Tawney, Gregory A. Wood, James D. Marple, James M. Murray, Matthew L. Groves, Nicholas Daniel Fleming, Richard L. Weitzcarver, Tonya Nicole Church, and Warren A. Morgan, Jr. The next group is recognized for the deployment of eTrace Direct, which enhanced the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives' ability to provide firearms tracing-related services to the global law enforcement community. From the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the recipients are Edward Steele, Stacy Alve, Cassandra Mullins, Robert Maynard, and Carol A. O'Day. And from the Kentucky State Police, Philip Burnett Jr. and Larry Newton. This last team led the department and the federal government in creating a zero-trust architecture to support mission-critical systems and operations worldwide. From the Justice Management Division, Vu Nguyen, Kevin Yasuda, Larry Tun. From the Drug Enforcement Administration, Nick Ward. From the Criminal Division, Leonard Bailey. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Michael Bettine. And from the National Security Division, Gabriel Slatter and Sean Newell. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipients of Award for Excellence in Information Technology. The next award category, the Attorney General's Award for Excellence in Furthering the Interests of U.S. National Security, recognizes outstanding achievements and contributions towards protecting United States national security. 2 groups are presented. The Fever Dream Prosecution Team is recognized for the successful 10-year investigation and prosecution of employees of the People's Republic of China Ministry of State Security. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of California, Fred Shepard, Sabrina Fev, and John Parmley. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Amy Pulling, Adam James, Marina Shelpiva, Nicholas Arico, Udell Hardy, and Edison Constantine. The next team, Operation Medusa, neutralized the most sophisticated malware implant for long-term cyber espionage. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Thomas R. Cook, Joseph M. Lawler, Justin R. Portier, Michael R. Berger, Chad R. Lowenstein, Jason Moore, Jonathan R. Pearlstein, Martin A. Quintana, Justin H. Rowland, Taylor M. Fury, Adam E. Foster, Alec T. Haas, Lacey Falk, and Catherine Miles. And from the United States Attorney's Office for the District of New York, Ian Richardson. Ladies and gentlemen, the team. The next category, the Attorney General's Award for Equal Employment Opportunity, is the department's highest award for performance in the support of equal opportunity programs. 2 groups awarded are presented. The first group is recognized for its recruitment efforts to increase inclusion for underrepresented communities in the Federal Bureau of Investigation workforce. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Erica Pugh, Janelle Anita Jones, Joshua Lynn Curry, Kathleen Ann Oltman, Courtney Pearson, Amanda L. Carroll, and Opayo Olia. The next team is recognized for strengthening the department's Diversity Inclusion Dialogue Program from 2020 to 2023. From the Justice Management Division, Richard Toscano. From the Antitrust Division, Michelle O. Rindoni. And from the Tax Division, Elizabeth D. Preston. Ladies and gentlemen, the team. The next award category is designed to recognize outstanding achievements in the field of legal support to attorneys by paralegal specialists and other legal assistants. 4 individuals are presented today. For paralegal support, from the Tax Division, Amanda J. Rankin. From the Criminal Division, Anna Rogers. Amanda worked creatively on multiple cases involving financial records and contributed to the division's paralegal hiring. Anna participated in the investigation of 2 human rights and special prosecution trials. She was instrumental in supporting Joint Task Force Alpha, the Attorney General's task force to combat human smuggling and trafficking. For legal assistance support from the Criminal Division, Patrick Gifford. And from the United States Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Iowa, Deborah L. Nash. Patrick supported several key initiatives in the Criminal Division's fraud section, and Deborah performed outstanding as a civil legal assistant. Thank you. The next award, the Attorney General's Award for Excellence in Administrative Support, recognizes outstanding performance in administrative or managerial support. 4 individuals are represented today. From the Justice Management Division, Ray N. Ross. From the Criminal Division, Catherine M. Murray. From the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Massachusetts, Hector Rodhens Gonzalez. Hector is recognized posthumously for his constant professionalism and technical expertise. Accepting the award is Hector's widow, Kathy Baez, and their son, Jaezer Baez. In the non-legal secretarial category for outstanding work, from the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Christy A. Butler. Ladies and gentlemen, excellence in administrative support. The John Marshall Award, named for the 4th Chief Justice of the United States, are presented to the department's highest awards presented to attorneys. Awards are presented in 9 categories. In the trial litigation category, the first group is recognized for exceptional and successful work in the trial against Roger N.G. The recipients from the Criminal Division are Alexandra E. Smith, Jennifer E. Amble, and Brent Weibel. For the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, Drew G. Roll and Dylan Stern. The next team is recognized for the first of its kind criminal prosecution that exposed fraud in the digital advertising industry. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, Sharitha Komatridi, Alexander F. Mindlin, and Artie McConnell. The next award is presented to the team for investigating and convicting top executives of the blood testing company Theranos. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Northern District of California, Robert S. Leach, John C. Bostic, Kelly I. Volker, and Jeffrey D. Nedrow. The next award in this category is presented to the team for the conviction of Dr. Javid Perwez for the healthcare fraud and related offenses. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Virginia, Elizabeth M. Usey, John F. Butler, E. Rebecca Gant, For the participation in litigation category, the first award is presented for the landmark achievement in ending a New Jersey landlord's 15-year practice of egregious sexual harassment of housing applicants and tenants. From the Civil Rights Division, Rachel Tamar Hagler, Aaron Meehan Richmond, Catherine Lemensky, and Natasha Babazita. From the United States Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey, Michael Campion and Susan Malinke. The next individual award recipient from the Civil Division, John Adam Bain, is recognized for his 34 years of exceptional service and his impact on environmental torts litigation. The next team is recognized for their groundbreaking work in the United States versus Meta Platforms Incorporated, formerly known as Facebook Incorporated. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, David J. Kennedy, Ellen Blaine, Christine S. Pascablo, and Jacob T. Lillywhite. The next category is for supportive litigation. The first individual recipient from the Criminal Division, Jared A. Hosted. Jared is recognized for the innovative approaches to supporting litigations in matters in criminal cases. Thank you. The next award recognizes the team that handled the unprecedented discovery demands associated with the massive investigation into the attack in the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. From the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, Emily Miller. From the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Oregon, Jeffrey Barrow. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Texas, Marcus Bush. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Western District of North Carolina, Joshua Ellen. From the Office of the Deputy Attorney General, Andrew Goldsmith. From the Executive Office for U.S. Attorneys, Susan Cook, John Braden Platt. From the National Security Division, Maisha Treadwell and Karen McCullum. From the Antitrust Division, Cassie Wiseman, Caitlin Grismala. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Joshua Taylor, Vicki Wilson, Jennifer Runyon. And from the Justice Management Division, Mustafa Irisi. The next team, the Red Hill team, is recognized for their superior work in state and federal litigation following a release of fuel from a strategic fuel reserve in Hawaii. From the Environment and Natural Resource Division, Paul Sereno, Leslie Hill, Lucy Brown, David Mitchell, and Martha Mann. The final individual recipient in this category is recognized for prosecuting the Easterling family for violating the Animal Welfare Act's prohibition against animal fighting ventures. From the Environment and Natural Resource Division, Lee P. Rindy. In the Handling of Appeals category, the recipients are, from the Civil Division, Lindsay Powell. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida, Laura Thomas Rivera and Michael Brenner. In the Providing Legal Advice category, the next group is recognized for completing presidential actions and Attorney General regulations and orders. From the Office of Legal Counsel, Rosemary Hart, Nathan Forrester, Laura Heem, Nicholas Nasrallah, James A. Durling, Amin Aminfar, Jane S. Balekidin, Kevin J. Barber, Connor J. Clark, Connor J. Kraft, Adam Grogue, Kelly Brooke Hostetler, Angela Mogi, and Ryan Watzel. So we're not done. Are we what?
No, you're not ready to go yet. You want the groups are behind you.
Oh, okay. Thank you for your patience. The next group is recognized for providing legal advice for the Appointments Clause and the Commissions Clause of the Constitution. From the Civil Division, Mark Freeman and Joshua Saltzman, and from the Office of Legal Counsel, Laura Edelman-Hein and Ryan Watzel. The next award, the Preparation or Handling of Legislation category, recognizes outstanding work in the support of the rollout of the National Defense Authorization Act requirements. From the Criminal Division, Sarah Dorsey, Molly Cusson, and Susan Schneider. The next team is recognized for effective management and coordination of the United States Victims of State-Sponsored Terrorism Fund. From the Criminal Division, Mary Patrice Brown, James Kurt Bowling, Sarah B. Dorsey, Jennifer Bickford, Matthew Colon, Reagan Cruz, Jane Lee, Anish Mather, Jacqueline Fiel, and Barbara Gilmore. The next team in the asset forfeiture category is recognized for outstanding work in the prosecution of 2 separate cases in connection to the exotic animal facility. From the United States Marshal Service, Jennifer Crane, Cynthia Bridges, and Sean Shui. From the Environment and Natural Resource Division, Seth Barsky, Meredith Flax, Mary Hollinsworth, Brianna Stripoli, and Devin Flanagan. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Oklahoma, Michael O'Malley, Susan Brandon, and from the Criminal Division, Darren McCullough. The next recipients, Task Force KleptoCapture, implemented the Ukraine Supplemental Appropriations Act, allowing for the first ever transfer of forfeited funds to Ukraine. From the Criminal Division, Brent Weibel, Margaret Mosier, and Michael Koo. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, Nathaniel Wren, Jessica Greenwood, and Ladislav Vanberg. From the Office of Legislative Affairs, Janice Ensor and Christina Kelsey. From the National Security Division, David Lim. From the Office of the Deputy Attorney General, Andrew C. Adams, Rush Atkinson. The next award category is in the Alternative Dispute Resolution category. This team, the 416 Fire Team, negotiated a novel settlement that reduces the risk of future wildland fires. From the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Colorado, Andrew Soler, David Moskowitz, Catherine Ross, Jacob Leicht, and Nicholas Dashala. The next award is presented to the Havasupai School Litigation Team. From the Civil Division, Carlotta Wells and Lisa Olson. The next award is presented to the Interagency Cooperation category to the Human Rights Violator and War Criminal Interagency Litigation Team. From the Civil Division, Jonathan Inkles, Matt Swan. From the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Kimberly Kachok, Kim Kusik, Katerina Alexopoulos, Michael McVicker, Thomas Connors, William Tomalanovich. Ladies and gentlemen, the team. The next award category is the Claudia J. Flynn Award for Professional Responsibility. 2 Claudia Flynn Awards are presented. The first individual recipient is from the Southern District of California, Peter Coe. The second award in this category is presented to the Crime Victims Working Group for revising the Attorney General guidelines for the victim and witness assistance for the first time in a decade. From the Criminal Division, Jeremy Sanders, Alyssa Kempler, Brian Strang, Lauren Britch Slater, Erica O'Neill, Danielle Richenthal, Alexandra Gelber, Gwendolyn Stamper, Molly Cusson, Lauren Coopersmith, Sonia Ralston, Ann Pings, and Nicole Borello. The award for Outstanding Service in Freedom of Information Act administration is presented to one individual. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, Sarah S. Norman. The Attorney General's Award for Fraud Prevention is presented to 2 teams today. The first team is recognized for outstanding work to defeat fraud in the banking industries and the CARES Act programs. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida, Brooke Watson and Nicole Krasna. From the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, Dina McClyde. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Adam Dixon and Zach Efting. From the Small Business Administration, Simon Dinitz, Sandip Singh, and Sarah Oliver. And from the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, David Brandt. From the United States Department of Homeland Security, Tyreek Brown. From the Social Security Administration, Ramon De Leon. And from the United States Postal Inspection Service, Larry Alfonso. The second team, the United States versus EcoVest Capital, Claude Clark et al. Team, is recognized for outstanding litigation of a first-of-its-kind civil enforcement matter to stop the promotion of an abusive tax scheme of syndicated conservation easements, which was costing the Treasury hundreds of millions of dollars. From the Tax Division, James Brashanahan II, Lauren Darwitt, Richard Rose, Harris Phillips, and Gregory Van Huey. The next Attorney General Award for Outstanding Contributions to Community Partnerships for Public Safety recognizes outstanding achievements in this area. 2 awards are presented this year. The first individual is from the United States Marshal Service, Albert Maresca, Jr. Albert is recognized for outstanding outreach contributions to the Baltimore community. The next award is presented to the Missing or Murdered Indigenous Persons Initiative. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, John Bush, Kaylon Fancher, Amelia Herrera, Donald Metzimir, Russell Myers II, Nicolette Rose, Ryan Sumners. From the Albuquerque Indian Affairs Department, Melody Del Mar. From the City of Albuquerque Native American Affairs, Don Begay. From the Albuquerque Department of Interior, Lynn Trujillo. From the Albuquerque Division of Public Safety, Resita Billy. From the Albuquerque Attorney General's Office, Claren Gibson, Stephanie Salazar. From the Albuquerque Police Department, Gerard Bartlett. And from the Albuquerque Law Enforcement Offices, Darlene Gomez, LLC, Darlene Gomez. The Cubby Dorsey Award for Outstanding Service by a Federal Wage Grade System employee recognizes extraordinary performance and contributions. 1 Cubby Dorsey Award is presented today. From the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Charles D. Treadway II. He is recognized for outstanding service in support of programs and operations. The final award for this ceremony is for outstanding contributions from a new employee. It recognizes exceptional performance by an employee with fewer than 5 years of federal career service. 2 awards are presented today. From the Civil Division, Danielle Winnick and Nathan Boo. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General, Associate Attorney General, and senior leaders here on the stage, we did it. We did a catch-up 2 years. I know I tried to restrain you from clapping, but I did want to do a final round of applause for those people in the beginning that didn't get the claps, that got most at the end. Let's just clap one more time. This now concludes our ceremonies. Please remember to remain seated while the department's senior leadership on the stage departs. And remember that you're invited to join us for a reception in the lobby following the ceremony. Thank you again.